Have you ever wondered what happens after death? Beyond beliefs and religions, there is an ancient text that promises to reveal the secrets of the most enigmatic moment of our existence. Today, I will talk about a book that few people know about. The Tibetan Book of the Dead, known in Tibetan as the Bardo Thodol, is one of the most celebrated and profound works of Tibetan Buddhism, laden with spiritual and philosophical meanings that transcend Tibet's cultural context. This text not only addresses the experience of death and the transition between lives but also offers a unique perspective on the nature of the mind and the path to liberation. Let's delve into the history, cultural context, content, and significance of this monumental work. The Bardo Thodol has its roots in the teachings of Vajrayana Buddhism, an esoteric branch of Buddhism that flourished in Tibet. Although the work is traditionally attributed to the Buddhist master Padmasambhava, also known as the Precious Master or Guru Rinpoche, its actual authorship and compilation are shrouded in mysticism. Padmasambhava arrived in Tibet in the 8th century to help establish Buddhism in a region previously dominated by animist beliefs known as Bon. With his spiritual wisdom and power, he harmonized these traditions, integrating elements of both to form the foundation of Tibetan Buddhism as we know it. The teachings that make up the Bardo Thodol are said to have been orally transmitted by Padmasambhava and later compiled and written by his consort and disciple, Yeshe Tsogyal. These teachings, considered too advanced for general understanding at the time, were concealed as termas or spiritual treasures. According to Tibetan tradition, these termas would be rediscovered at specific moments by enlightened masters called tertons, capable of interpreting and transmitting these truths when humanity was ready to receive them. In the 14th century, the text was rediscovered by Karma Lingpa, a young terton born in southern Tibet. According to legend, Karma Lingpa received visions guiding him to a cave where the Bardo Thodol was hidden. There, he found the texts alongside related writings and began transmitting them as an essential guide for spiritual practice. Karma Lingpa described the text not only as a guide for the dying but also as a manual for the living, emphasizing that understanding and meditating on the teachings of the Bardo Thodol could prepare individuals to face both life and death with clarity and courage. Tibetan Buddhism emphasizes impermanence as one of the fundamental truths of existence. Life, death, and rebirth are seen as parts of a continuous cycle called samsara, characterized by suffering due to attachment and ignorance. The ultimate goal of a Buddhist practitioner is to break free from this cycle by achieving enlightenment or nirvana. The Bardo Thodol aligns with this vision, providing a detailed description of the intermediate states, or bardas, that a being passes through after death. The word bardo means intermediate state and refers not only to the period between death and rebirth but also to other transitional states in life, such as dreaming and deep meditation. The text is divided into 3 main sections, each focusing on a different aspect of the post-mortem experience. Let's explore these intermediate states. This first bardo occurs immediately after physical death. In this state, the soul experiences what is known as the primordial clear light, a manifestation of the true nature of the mind and the universe. It is an experience of immense luminosity and purity, beyond words or concepts. The text teaches that if the individual can recognize this light as their own essence, they can achieve instant enlightenment, avoiding the cycle of rebirth. However, for many souls, this moment can be overwhelming due to attachment, fear, or confusion, preventing them from seizing this opportunity. If the soul fails to recognize the clear light, it enters the second bardo, where it encounters visions of peaceful and wrathful deities. These figures are not external entities but projections of the mind, reflecting both its enlightened potential and its karmic tendencies. Peaceful deities represent qualities like compassion, wisdom, and serenity. Wrathful deities symbolize fears, attachments, and negative emotions arising from accumulated karma. The text provides detailed instructions for the soul to recognize these visions as manifestations of the mind, overcome fear, and embrace the opportunity for liberation. In this final bardo, the soul begins to feel a growing desire to find a new body, influenced by its karmic tendencies. This is a critical moment, as choices and attachments during this state determine the circumstances of the next rebirth. The text offers guidance to avoid unfavorable rebirths and suggests practices to aspire for a rebirth that facilitates spiritual progress. Although the Bardo Thodol is presented as a guide for the dead, it also holds profound value for the living. Its teachings help 1. Accept impermanence. Contemplating death can free one from fear and foster gratitude and presence. 2. Prepare for death. Meditative practices based on the text strengthen the ability to recognize the nature of the mind in any circumstance. 3. Understand the nature of the mind. Exploring the mind's projections as described in the Bardo deepens awareness of how consciousness creates reality. The Bardo Thodol is not only a sacred text for Tibetan Buddhists but has also fascinated scholars, mystics, and spiritual seekers worldwide. Its 20th century translation into English, particularly by Walter Evans Wentz, popularized it in the West, although often interpreted through perspectives foreign to its original context. The work has inspired countless discussions about consciousness, life after death, and the interplay between philosophy and spirituality. It has also influenced literary, artistic, and cinematic works, reflecting its enduring impact. The Tibetan Book of the Dead is much more than a manual for the deceased. It is a universal guide to understanding life, death, and rebirth. Exploring its teachings confronts us with fundamental questions about the nature of existence and the mind. In a world where death is often taboo, the Bardo Thodol invites us to face it directly, not as an end but as a transition and an opportunity for transformation. Whether for Buddhist practitioners or any spiritual seeker, this text remains an inexhaustible source of wisdom and solace. Give me a like, and if you liked the video, thank you for watching.